As far back as I can remember, I've been enamored with Jamaican reggae music. The feeling, the swing, the tones, the vintage character, the vinyl sound, the sweet harmonies, the effects, the dub, all that. It's always been my goal since I started to produce to recreate that to the best of my ability. So what did that look like? I started out with Apple GarageBand, and shortly thereafter, I realized that the sounds were trash. So I upgraded to Logic, and I found that even though the sounds are still kind of trash, there's at least more of them. So then that got me into some third-party plugins and some VSTs, which there's a lot of great ones out there. But after making a bunch of tracks, I really thought, man, there's no good drum sounds out there. I searched the internet so many times for good reggae drum sounds, and honestly, when I started, they did not exist. So what did I do? I rented a drum kit, I sampled it myself, and then I started using those samples. And that sample pack is what's known as the Legacy Sample Pack. I've sold this sample pack for years, and I've never had someone want to return their money. So it's a good sample pack. But it wasn't that cohesive, and I was learning. So I used that for years, and then I got a real drum kit 3 years ago, and I've been playing and trying to get good at that. And then once I moved here and built this home studio, I was actually able to record the One Drop Sample Pack, which is a nice, cohesive, clean, very good sounding kit. And I'm happy to say that a lot of people have picked that one up, and I started selling that one a year ago, and it's been on a lot of songs, even ones on the radio. So I thought, okay, we've got good drum sounds now. What's next? If I were you, and if I were just starting, what would I want? Well, I would want good sounding guitar samples. Those don't exist. They still don't. There's a couple of VSTs, but if I'm honest, the tone isn't right. So I took my guitar that I built from a DIY kit and my tube amp that I also built myself, which thinking back, I probably shouldn't have, because I could have definitely killed myself with the voltage of a tube amp. But I'm still here. The tube amp sounds great, and so did the samples. Okay, what else? How about a real upright piano from 1922? Well, I got one of those in the studio, so I definitely wanted to sample that. And what about my Hammond organ? There's nothing like a real Hammond organ. Now, yes, there are good VSTs out there, and that's fine. I just thought to get DM Kahn sound, let's record that as well. And when I was putting this pack together, I thought, if I'm gonna do 3 instruments, it's gotta be reasonable. I can't record every single chord there is in a bunch of different articulations, but maybe I could do 1 key. So that's what I did. 6 chords in the key of A. And really, with those 6 chords, the possibilities are honestly endless. So we've got real upright piano, 4 octaves, 5 different velocities. I've got the Hammond tone wheel organ, the M3 with the Neo ventilator, which is the best simulator there is, the bubble organ, and the upper organ in a couple of different articulations, and the guitar. I've got downstrokes and upstrokes, so you can just do the or the chicka chicka, and I'll show you that in a little bit, and 2 different inversions. So also round robins. I'll get into it, but it's super realistic. You're going to be able to make some awesome and authentic reggae music using this pack. I'm super pumped about it if you can't tell. So why don't I show you what it is? Let's jump in. Okay, before I dive into this, I need to say that this sample pack is going to be on sale for $60 as an introduction price, and it'll be available in Logic as well as Contact Player, not the free one, the real one, and Ableton. So I'm trying to broaden that so that everybody can get their hands on this pack. All right, with that said, let's hear what this sounds like along with the One Drop Sample Pack in concert. Here we go. Okay, let's mute the drums. Okay, let's start with the piano. So this is what it sounds like. How amazing is that? So if we look under the hood here and we go to the sort of mapping, you can see all of the samples here and they're by velocity. So if we turn this on, that's the lowest velocity. Next, a little bit harder, a little harder, harder, really hard. So the harder you press on your piano, you get a different sample. And then obviously it's just one note is one chord, which is pretty awesome. And you play two at once. So that's the piano. It sounds amazing. It's literally that piano right there. Now, like I said, that's the minor. There's lots of minor chords in there, so it's not just major, right? You can do the major. Or you could go super heavy. Anyways, I'm getting lost. I'm having fun with this. You can hear how realistic it sounds and super musical, like especially up on the top notes. I let it ring a bit because that's what it's like. That's that chord. I don't know if you could hear it. That's the Heinzmann piano. It's from 1922. Big, beautiful sound. And then let's go to the guitar next. So this is the Telecaster. This is a lot of fun. So you have round robins, which round robins basically are, it's the same chord, but it's a different recording of the same. The idea is that it cycles through those four of the same. And the higher velocities, if we listen, that's the chop. And that's the downstroke, I should say. And then the upstroke, which is more muted, is the lesser velocity. So if I play hard then quiet, it'll do the chicka. And I got another inversion. Same chord, but different parts of them on the guitar. And then every so you got all the chords there. And it really has that nice percussive nature that I haven't heard in any other sample pack before. But yeah, it's cool. The round robins, it's triggering a different sample every time. Well, there's 4 of them, so it'll cycle through those 4. So, it's more realistic sounding. That was the idea of the round robins. And I did that on the organ too. But what's cool about the tonality of these chords or of the samples is that I kept them kind of in the middle. But if you want to boost the brightness, that's really more the sound. But if you want it to be nice and full, get rid of the EQ. This is the standard. Add a little bit of brightness, and it really gets you that chicky. And then also, if you run it through an amp simulator like I got here, it's a different tone. Without the amp, with it, it's doing the same idea as the EQ. Okay, so that's the telly, and now we'll move on to the organ. So this is the Hammond M3 that you see behind me. And if I go to the sampler here, this is probably the most intricate one. So we have 4 octaves, and this one here, same thing. It's got round robins. So I recorded that thing 4 times on every bubble. And then when you get into the upper ones, there's 2 velocities. There's a long one and a short one. So you could do the... There's so many different possibilities. The low one I didn't do long because you're never really going to hold that one out long. Yeah. So there's 4 octaves. And then if we do a different chord. So that's actually this one up here. These are the upper, the top deck. So it's a different sound versus that's more of a bubble sound. Yeah, so a lot of articulations there. Anyways, let's play a little loop of something that I made. You can hear the different articulations going on. Let's hear just the telly. And the piano. Then let's add the bubble. So you can hear, I let them draw out longer. So let's just solo this here. See, this one here is a long one. And then long. See? That was sweet. And you can do them long and short. All you got to do is more velocity is the long one. And then the short length is the lower velocity. And then I have another layer of organ here. That's just the upper. I hope that you can hear how amazing these samples are. And yeah, like I showed earlier, let's just play the one with the 1-drop sample pack so you can hear how it really sounds. Bass guitar is missing, and maybe pluck guitar, which bass guitar is the hard one. because bass guitar, you really should have a real bass guitar, but it's a challenge that I think I'm going to try. I think I'm going to try to create a real reggae bass sample pack, and pluck as well. I'll probably include those in the same one. But let's do one that has real drums in it. So let's take a listen. Here's the sample pack. Anyways, that's the Kahn Riddim pack, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you'll grab it and support me, and thanks so much for watching. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, TikTok's blowing up, all those silly things. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a blessed day. Peace.